Africa. I'm T-Brain, the ICT expert.
Let me introduce our panel members. Here is Saj Abraham. Saj is leading our RFID, business intelligence, and data warehousing practice. And he is also leading all the solutions which does not fall into the other practices. Saj is one of the most traveled guy in Technobrain, and many of us know it's very difficult to catch Saj because most of the time he's in the flight. But at the same time, Saj does not keep any email in his mailbox for more than 24 hours. You get the response immediately. Saj has been with Technobrain for last 8 years. Welcome, Saj. Thank you. We have Nandan Gopalakrishna, who is leading our identity management practice. He's been with Technobrain for last 6 years. And identity management practice is one of the largest practice, both in terms of solution offerings and as well as revenue contribution to the organization. And what he used to do before he was leading this practice, he used to organize our annual business conferences. Then we have Alfred Mugo. Alfred Mugo is leading our managed services practice, and Alfred has worked in various capacities in Technobrain. He started his career with training. He used to be a trainer along with me, and then infrastructure practice, then for some time identity management, then now he's heading managed services. He's been with Technobrain for more than 10 years now, and Alfred, if anybody has any IT problems or solutions, it's still your responsibility. Just not the practice. Welcome, Alfred.
Thank you.
We have Catherine. Catherine is leading our GIS practice, and she is with us for last 2 years. She is our youngest panel member and also the only female panel member here. And she has a bright future. Samar Patel. Samar Patel is leading our enterprise business practice, which is also one of the largest practice. All the ERP and other related solutions fall into enterprise. Enterprise practice used to be the incubator for all the other practices earlier. So as the enterprise practice grows big, we split and make a new practice. So which used to be handled by Saj and Joel earlier. And Samar handles both practice and sales with the same ease. So 2014, I think probably you have to handle both the roles. Right? Welcome.
Thanks.
And Samar is with us for last 5 years. Yes. Yeah. Rajiv Agarwal. Rajiv Agarwal is leading our business automation and consulting practice. He is the most experienced person in Technobrain in our panel. He is with Technobrain for more than 10 years, now 11 years. 10 years, 8 months, so 11 years.
13 years.
13 years, sorry. Good. Rajiv also started his career in the training business and then moved into solutions business. And also, Rajiv is the only practice director who is operating from Uganda, not from Nairobi. Right? And
That was with Saj as well.
no. Saj lives everywhere.
He's flying.
So you have seen our corporate office in Nairobi. Yeah. If you change your mind, let Manoj know. Right. Thank you.
Solutions around big data, analytics on big data basically. And specifically coming to RFID, we are looking at 3 low-hanging or easy to go solutions to start with in the market. RFID is not a very new technology. It has been existing in many other markets. But we find it to time it properly and with the right pace of what the requirements in the markets are. So we are coming up with 3 solutions in RFID. First one is on asset management. We've been seeing around a lot of our customers on day-to-day basis using assets and they're tagging them with barcodes, label tags, or on all the assets around. We might have, whenever we go to any office, we might see assets are tagged on a label. And we've been finding them in compliance reports and reports that when they are reporting to the auditors, they really have a difficulty in managing the physical stock vis-a-vis the stocks in the books. So we realize there's a huge potential of bringing in a technology which can actually help manage the assets and the facilities. And we thought of coming up with RFID, which is something, and integrating with our existing solutions of ERP and other solutions. So we are having one of the offerings coming up on asset management. The second one, we are coming up to help industries in the trading and logistics industry specifically for RFID-based warehouse management and inventory control. We've been doing this for quite a number of markets. Already we have got some success in India and in Middle Eastern market. We have applied RFID in some of the solutions in Tanzania for, say, for example, in libraries for managing books and book issuance. But we felt that a lot of the industries that we are serving are still not using radio frequency identification for warehouse management. They are using barcode, and yet it's economical. So we'll, that's one of the areas we are focusing, going to go to market very aggressively to use RFID for effective warehouse management.
Do you want to tell them that how you're tracking every one of us using RFID now?
Yeah. So to do a pilot, what we've done is every person who is who's having a badge like this, the tag is actually tagged with an RFID. So as you are coming in the morning, you see the gates, you have RFID antennas, and you were being read, and you could be welcomed by your name. So it's just to show how a technology works. So basically, if you would like to know the stock of how many people are here in the room, we could just come with a RFID handheld reader and know the people in the room.
How long you're in the room and how long you're outside.
Exactly. So basically, so it applies in many ways. So if you had to count physically, you can imagine how long it would take. But if an RFID reader, you can know every person in the room and you get the exact number of people. Applies to assets, applies to inventory, applies to any number of areas. The areas of the other most importance we would like to also focus on, extending on the supply chain, warehouse to the supply chain management. A lot of manufacturing organizations we are seeing are specifically high value items, which are, or having items which are having expiry. We are finding that they are having a lot of stock which is lost, or items that perished because of lack of expiry. So we thought of using RFID to really manage the stock management. The second aspect is also to look at the market demand through the distribution channel. So if I'm a manufacturing organization and I have 70 distributors in the East African region, I would like to know the stock of every distributor. What are the items which are moving in the market? What variants are moving? How do I plan my production planning on a real-time in a mechanism? So that's something. So we are also trying to do this inroads into distribution organization, medical distribution, central medical stores, on food distribution. You can actually apply this in a wide variety of areas and see how you can improve your business.
Absolutely. So you mentioned about big data.
Yeah. So that's on the RFID side. So 3 major areas we are looking at. We also have around 14 other solutions on RFID, but 3-point solutions we are going to start with this year is on asset, supply chain, and warehouse management.
Okay.
We have tied up with a hardware company called Alien, and we have a strategic distribution partnership with them. And coming to big data, we have invested our R&D and resources on Hadoop as a technology. It's a, Hadoop is Apache is an open source element, and we have been working on that for a while, and we have come out with 2-point solutions to start with, specifically focusing on financial sectors, the banking and the insurance industries. Because you see, and also on the public sector, we are coming with the solutions to complement solutions of existing customers on citizen management and improve citizen awareness.
Right.
So that
Taxpayer.
taxpayers or revenue collection or any other functions. So coming to the financial sector, what we want to do is, you see, I'll give an example. I was few months back, I was trying to apply for a, looking in my property management site, trying to look for a house. And I registered in that site and I was trying to do a hunt of the house. Within 2 weeks, I got calls from 3 of the banks asking for, would you like to have a loan? I never applied for a loan. So there's a lot of data which is happening, and as all of us are working on various aspects on the internet and trying to update our preferences, our choices, that is a data available of every individual in the cloud. And there is a huge potential businesses can use that to cross-sell and get and tap to how to get that. And it is not only banking and financial sectors or insurance sector, because I buy a car or my car insurance, because they know the date where I buy the car, and I might insure with one company. But the other insurance company might be waiting to see the insurance date, renewal date, and try to cross-sell with a better offer. So there are so much of data which is available, and the financial sector can actually use it effectively. The governments also can use it to get a better insight about the citizens. Say, for example, I change a job. The tax authority might be interested to know that I have changed a job, and the social security will also want to know, okay, is he coming on the, and all of this information on the job change is available on social, LinkedIn and many other media sites. My preference is what I'm liking, what are the things I'm not liking. The government can take effective decisions in making policy changes. You see, more participative information which can be used in effective policy management and enforcing and helping the citizens having a better life.
So that's about big data.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to say?
No.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you, Saj. Nandan, who is leading our identity management practice, that is to deal with a whole lot of biometrics. Nandan, could you please share your plans for 2014?
Sure. Thanks, Anand. But before I get into anything, I just wanted to make one clarification. Since morning we've been hearing about Technobrain executing the Ghost Worker program. It's a clarification. We have executed and implemented a Ghost Worker elimination program. So we're not in the business of creating ghost workers or managing them. I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to set it straight.
Right.
Yep. So,
Yeah, right.
okay. Most of these forums, as I recall in the previous ABCs, many a times the question would have been, how many people in this room have mobile phones? And then it changed to how many people in this room have more than 2 mobile phones? I guess the question probably maybe now, how many people in the room have mobile phones with features more than they will ever use?
Let him put close.
Right. And, as I was sitting through these sessions in the morning, I was able to see people taking out their mobile phones, zooming in, capturing photographs. And interestingly, Peter, some people were still tweeting, yeah? Even though their phones were on.
Now.
Yes. He is busy tweeting on his tablet.
Okay.
You see, for us, from the identity management perspective, the Apple iPhone 5S, I'm sure many of us in the room are aware that they have released a phone which has a fingerprint scanner on it.
Yes.
That, if you have been following the sales, it has overtaken the sales of any other previous iPhone model which was released in the market. What this means is that right now, an Apple phone, iPhone user has an ability to use and interact with biometric technology at on a commercially available device.
More secured.
Yes. Essentially, any sort of transactions or communications that the person will be doing can be more secure. It can be more made robust. And what this offers is a delivery mechanism for institutions, for organizations, for agencies, commercial entities, what have you, to deliver any services they are currently delivering, to make it more robust, to make it more secure. One of the things, again, taking after Saj, is that innovations that anything comes across will be a percolation of what has already been discussed. He mentioned about big data. He mentioned about information being available, which can be used for cross purposes. If he applied for, or rather had evinced an interest in buying a land, and then immediately he gets a call from an insurance agency. Now, using a biometric device on a commercially available device as a mobile phone, he would then be able to access his bank, authenticate himself using his fingerprint, submit his insurance claims, and walk away, go to his land registration department, pay his taxes, and then get his house and property registered. So this is exactly what Technobrain and the identity management practice specifically will be doing in 2014.
So a year from now, none of us need to remember our passwords?
Well,
because we have more than 10 passwords today in our lives.
Yes, without seeming overtly like Big Brother, I would rather prefer we term it as a friendly uncle. Yes? So, yes, in essence, passwords can be a thing of the past. I believe many instances in most of our laptops it already is. I mean, at least for myself, I don't actually remember my password. So whenever I need to reset it, it's a bit of a challenge. So right now I'm going to access my laptop using my fingerprint. So in 2014, the focus is going to be on launching what we are terming it as SecureX. SecureX is going to be a biometric exchange which is going to offer biometrics as a service on a hosted platform as a framework. So this is going to be the way forward for 2014. All our existing solutions in the identity management sector are going to be ported and made available as a service for consumption by various entities within our existing customer ecosystem and also to our upcoming prospects as well. Now, what this means is that, I was listening to His Excellency Fayemi in the morning during his speech when he mentioned that his state is looking to be more citizen-focused, offering these services to the citizens. Now, a lot of these services have been in the pipeline. Many governments are taking these initiatives to offer subsidy schemes, to offer them, input fertilizers, any of these e-citizen services. They've already been in the pipeline. But the thing which has been hampering is the last mile delivery and the authentication aspect of it. Now, in the very next future, you're going to see a lot of these devices becoming mainstream. What this means is that the government now has an ability to reach directly to a particular citizen and be able to verify and conduct secure transactions without requiring additional gadgets or devices, which has always held back biometrics coming into the mainstream. So this is going to be a game changer, and suffice to say that Technobrain is well ahead, and we are already under innovations and research and development practices right now. And we have, in fact, gone ahead and to code this very same ghost worker elimination program, we have utilized many of these components that will be productized, will be channelized and offered as a service for consumption across the solutions and across practices.
Great. I think this is really a game changer.
It is.
And this is cutting across every industry and every vertical. A bank, an insurance company, a government organization, a telecom company, or any service provider for that matter who is reaching out to a consumer or from a government terminology to a citizen. So it's going to be an interface to securely and uniquely authenticate. And this is a great opportunity for all of our partners to work collaboratively and to find out and bring more mutually beneficial solutions to the market, I guess, from the OEM, from the hardware, from the supply chain, from the network. So it's an opportunity for all our partners. So great. Thank you, Nandan.
Thank you very much.
Alfred, so what can we look forward to in 2014 in managed services practice?
Well, thank you. I'm not sure which of these is working.
Both are working.
Both are working? Very good. Well, we have quite a number of things which we'll be looking forward in 2014. But before I talk about them, I'd just like to say in managed services, we say that we ask organizations to focus and do what they do best and then outsource the rest. So they would outsource the rest that is not in a core business, that is probably like ICT infrastructure management to Technobrain, and then we can work on that. Otherwise, if they must manage IT, then it's best to manage it with tools that actually deliver value from IT. So one of the things which we'll be looking at closely in 2014 is a system called ITSM, that is IT Service Management. We all know at the end of the day that we have a lot of gadgets. We've got computers, we've got PCs, we've got servers, we've got the wide area networks, and so on. At the end of the day, what is important to the end user is the service delivery. It's actually using those tools for productivity. They're not an end to themselves. Right. And that is why we come in with the ITSM solution for application management, network management, security management, and basically delivering service delivery to the end users. Okay. We also be looking at the general ICT infrastructure management for from the perspective of the data centers. When you look at managed services, you can either do it at the end user side or at the data center side, whereby all the systems that Saj, Nandan, and my colleagues here will be speaking about will be hosted. So we'll be building data centers, we'll be managing those data centers, we'll have annual maintenance contracts and SLAs for the same. And of course, a service desk whereby all the IT problems which occur, and we know they do occur all the time, can be referred to and then addressed. Okay. One other exciting thing we'll be doing is cloud services, actualizing cloud solutions in our environment. In Africa, we know we're challenged by infrastructure. We have issues with internet connectivity, we have redundancy problems. So we have taken a small step now. We have built a small data center in our new corporate headquarters, and I hope we'll be seeing that sometime later. And this data center will be the beginning, it's the first step for cloud services. So we'll be doing hosting, we'll be creating virtual environments there where all the solutions that we offer in the Technobrain IP or other solutions that we have from our customers can be hosted. I had somebody mention about backup, so we'll be also doing backup as a service. We all know what happens when we lose our phone, all the data is lost, all our contacts are gone, and these are actually contacts which you use for business. If you lose your laptop today with all the data that you have, your email, your documents, your financial records, and so on, it's a real pain building it back. So we'll be offering backup as a service. To corporates, to the BFI sector, this is banking, insurance, and other sectors actually, we'll be providing a service for security. This is IT security. Today, if you ask yourself, how secure is the data that you have in your organization? How do you know that nobody else is able to access that data? I'm challenged every day by CXOs that they're not really sure who else gets a copy of their emails, for instance, or who has access to the company books or the HR database and salaries and things like that. So we'll be offering IT as a service for organizations where we do assessment for IT. We recommend the best practices. We do a consultancy, around that, and of course propose the best solutions for security management. And we do have those tools with us in place. So basically, at the end of the day, we'll be looking at ITSM process maturity, infrastructure management, and cloud services going forward in 2014.
So from your practice, it's not about product launch or a product release, but it is a service, that new services that you're going to offer, because the world is increasingly moving towards from capex to opex model.
That essentially that is what is going to happen, because we've seen a lot of investments, IT investments going. At the end of the day, we need to be able to change that paradigm shift. Rather than investing millions of dollars and to purchase IT, we can offer that as a service. And in fact, one of my major tasks is to change the Technobrain offerings from product to service. And we see how I can work with my colleagues to ensure that is
Sure,
achieved.
sounds good. Thank you, Alfred.
Thank you.
Catherine, so what's new in emerging in GIS practice?
Okay.
Green.
Hello. So for GIS, which basically means Geographical Information System, listening to the governor today was very interesting because some of the things he was already highlighting are some of the challenges that he faces are some of the things that we are currently trying to address. He talked about things to do land information system, talking about GIS, workflow management. Those are some of the things we're trying to address, and especially in 2014. So I'm just going to address, talk about two solutions. We have quite a number of solutions, but I'm only going to talk about two. One of it is urban land formation system. What urban land formation system essentially means is that you're able to manage your land, land being the largest resource any state government, national government, city authority may have. So what essentially that means is that you're able to have visual, being to physically be able to see every piece of land that you have. So in this case, it means creating maps of all the land that you have. So secondly, also means also integrating with your documents into the system. So what you're going to do is that create a system where you're able to have your title deeds in place as well. So if I'm able to log in, for example, if Samara today was selling me land in Kenya, it's very difficult for me to essentially know, is really that piece of land his? Does he have any issues? Are there encumbrances on that piece of land? So essentially what that system does is that he can be able to give me like the LR number. I go online, because there'll be a citizen service or a citizen portal in this case. I'm able to go online and be able to search for that piece of land, and I'm able to see it actually belongs to Samar, and he's been paying his taxes, for example. So able to have the full information of that piece of land. So essentially, we'll be building such systems that are able to help, whether it means state government or national government, and you're able to have citizen services that are, better delivery of citizen services, because we no longer have the issues of, like, I know essentially within this region, it's, you have, one piece of land being bought by two people, for example, and, becomes quite a chaotic process. Secondly, you're also integrating that same system with workflow management, and he was talking about, whereby, if, for example, as I said, I start buying his piece of land that he's selling to me, so there is an automated workflow process that starts immediately. I log in and say, for example, we're going to procure this piece of land, and he's essentially allowed me to. The workflow process means that the information is sent to the Ministry of Lands or whomever is selling the piece of, whomever the state authority is. So that means the person who is responsible for that piece of land gets to understand what is going on about that piece of land. So instead of having physically following files, as we probably do in most cases, the system is so automated that it gives you information throughout the process. So it even creates an alert and tells you, you need probably to pay your fees, for example, in this case, you as a citizen, rather than you physically having to follow the process to the end. So you have a process that is very automated that you do not have, keep on having to physically follow. The beauty about what you're also doing as Technobrain and being GIS is that we don't build just a typical land information system. So integrating it with financial management system. So you're offering a system where now the finance comes in on issues to do with property tax and land rates. So what would mean is that for a manager, if you're a CEO or a governor of your state, for example, all you go is online and you're able to see the physical representation of the land that you have for your state, and then you're able to see who are the people paying taxes. So it actually becomes a very easy visual to be able to see. The red appearing here means those are the people you need to follow up on. The green means the guys who are doing well. So it becomes a very easy visual aid rather than what you having to look through, reports and files, so to speak. So that is one of the tools we're looking into.
We've rebuilt it to take into consideration new technology and new HR trends that are in the market. And to add on to it, and this is the greatest part of what we're going to launch in 2014 with Inspire HRM, is that we're taking it to the cloud, right? So in today's age, HR departments, their goal is to provide efficient services to their HR staff and get the maximum out of their HR staff within the organization. But what's challenging them is that the HR staff within their organization are becoming tech savvy as well, right? So one of the key reasons why we took Inspire HRM to the cloud, and some of the benefits of taking Inspire HRM to the cloud was, when you look at it from our target market perspective, we're looking at now targeting the SME market, which is the small and medium-sized enterprises. who do not want to invest in large infrastructure in terms of data centers or servers, and they would like something hosted out there for them. So it's easy for them to, it's cheaper for them to invest and also manage the system. The other reason why we've taken Inspire HRM to the cloud is obviously for mobility access. Earlier, Nandan mentioned that we have, everyone's using smartphones. And that's the reason we've taken Inspire HRM to the cloud to give two things. One is mobility access. So you're out there in the field. You could be filling in your timesheets. You could be applying for leave. And today's age, and Technobrain is a great example. 17 countries in Africa. We've got international operations, and we've got everyone spread all over the continent. But could you imagine sending in a leave form on paper and then getting it approved? So that's the other thing that we've done with Inspire HRM. Today, and again, going on to Alfred's point where organizations want to focus on their core operations, focus more on what they're doing and what they're supposed to be doing rather than spend more time on IT infrastructure and managing infrastructure, it makes more sense taking Inspire HRM to cloud, where they have less management of the IT infrastructure, hosting the solution in-house, and having it out there on the cloud. Obviously, we're not forgetting our public sector customers where we're still not seeing public sector embrace cloud, but that's where the hybrid model for Inspire HRM comes handy, where you can still host the solution within your organization. So ministries, public organization, public entities, parastatals are still able to host the solution in-house. What we've done for that particular vertical is that we've built additional features into Inspire HRM that actually focuses on public sector HR functionality in terms of managing the HR process, managing the recruitment process, managing the exit process. The other thing that we're doing is with our expansion that we've done as Technobrain, we've adopted our payroll system that's within Inspire HRM to fit into the countries that we are present in. So every country has an out-of-box payroll already built into Inspire HRM. So we're not doing any customizations or any coding when it comes to that. Lastly, but not the last point that I really want to make is on key partnerships that we've established to take Inspire HRM into 2014 is we're planning to build an extended distribution channel to help Technobrain take the products out there in markets that we're not able to take to. Right? So we're going to build a channel where we're going to train our distributors to be able to sell and implement Inspire HRM for their customers in their region. And lastly, obviously, we're partnering with data center providers, where obviously Technobrain, like Alfred mentioned, has a data center that can host Inspire HRM. But if an organization already has a data center that they would like to work with, or a data center in mind that they already work with, then we're building partnerships with these data centers to be able to host Inspire HRM at their locations as well.
So there are two things that we can look forward to. One is Inspire HRM 3.0, which is the latest enterprise version, and Inspire HRM cloud version. Yes. So they are the two things that are coming into the market. Can you please explain a little bit about how other solutions like ERP or CRM can be integrated or plugged in with Inspire HRM?
Yeah, sure.
What you have done?
What we've done with Inspire HRM, and it's been the case with the previous versions as well, but we've taken it a step forward with the new version, is that it already integrates with all the major ERPs that are out there in the market. So you're looking at direct integration with Microsoft Dynamics ERPs, SAP, Oracle, and the lot. But apart from that, obviously, what we've done with Inspire HRM is that we've kept it database independent, which means that you can actually have it installed on an Oracle database or a Microsoft SQL database or MySQL for that matter. And that gives you the accessibility of having ODBC connectivity, so it connects with any other, or integrates with any other system that you might have in place, existing or an OEM product that's out there in the market.
And you have any plans for certification for the product by any HR organizations or technology OEM companies like Microsoft?
Obviously, Inspire HRM was certified for Microsoft Dynamics. We're going to take the new version to be certified for Microsoft Dynamics. We would like other vendors like SAP to also certify it for an integratable product. In addition to that, when we were building Inspire HRM and we were incorporating the new HR trends that are out there in the market, we used a lot of the HR specialists that are out there in the market to help us build, because they have the domain expertise that we don't have. And so we use them, and we believe that we've taken their expertise into the product. Obviously, one thing that we're trying to do is we're working with a lot of consultancy partners in the region that do HR consultancy to help us market and sell the product out there to their customers as well.
Sure, that's great to know, because one of our product measure, I was told that the curriculum for monitoring and evaluation in University of Kampala, Uganda Management Institute uses our measure as part of their curriculum to teach students on what is monitoring and evaluation. So that will be a good step. Thank you, Samar.
Thanks.
Rajiv, what are we looking forward to from business automation and consulting practice in 2014 from both the products and services?
Right, Anand. So we've been listening what my colleagues have been talking about, mobility, social media, cloud, and these are the technologies which are taking up the entire market dynamics to a different level. Customers want to be now serviced while they are on mobile, on mobility, and they want to be serviced where they are. They don't want to go down to anymore to the offices and all those kind of things. They want to have every information on their hand immediately and whenever they want. So as our tagline for this ABC, the rhythm is, our entire theme of ABC is surging ahead. So we cannot be left behind as well. Technobrain also has to surge ahead in terms of bringing in new dimensions and new offerings to all its products, and it has to take its products to the next level. 2013 has been a successful year, yes. We had good projects we have executed, yet there are new challenges and new requirements that are emerging in the market. So we cannot be left behind. So we need to surge forward. And in that respect, out of several solutions and products that we offer under my practice, we have picked up three most important developments that are taking place in the market, and to cater to our government sector and the NGO sector, we have the monitoring and evaluation product, which we have been selling for the last 4-5 years.
Measure.
Measure, and it has been a very good success journey for Measure so far. I'm very excited to announce that we are going to launch Measure 2.4 on cloud by June 2014. Excellent. The product is already in testing mode, and we should be commercializing it very soon. So that's the first announcement I would like to make under my practice. So this is going to be on cloud now. The second announcement I'd like to make is that we would be using the Technobrain's own cloud platform to launch the cloud model of the cloud version of Measure. So that's the two things that we would like to bring in. And the main message to all the NGO and the public sector organization is that your concern for data security as one. Second, ability to collect data from the field very quickly so that you can report back to your donors and to your development partners on your compliance requirements for monitoring and evaluation will be made more easy because of its mobility, accessibility, because of the cloud platform. The field officers and the field staff who would be collecting all your monitoring and evaluation related data, it will be easy for them now to immediately relate it back to their offices, which will give them the ability to report back to the donors on time. And that's the biggest challenge. How do we report back on time? So this cloud platform would now bring in that capability and will give them the complete flexibility to create and generate reports as and when they need. So that's something which we are adding on. Second, another announcement I would like to make is that we launched our Smart Fleet to address the logistics space in July 2013. And we got good success startup for this new product that we launched. Last year, we had launched the logistics solutions around supply chain. And this year, we just extended by having our own IP product, Smart Fleet, launched in July 2013. Now what we are doing is, because of the customer demands and the customer flexibility again, looking at the kind of moving away from CapEx to OpEx model within the customer base itself, we are now taking Smart Fleet into cloud also. So that will be the next version of cloud-based product that we will launch, and again that is targeted for Q2 end, that is June 2014.
Okay.
Third interesting product, in fact, I will pick up 2 points which were raised this morning, one by His Excellency, the Governor of Ekiti State, where he took us through the journey of how Ekiti has been adopting ICT technology and how they have been embracing new ways and means of not only making their government services closer to the citizens, but also empowering citizens to use ICT as their platform to be related with the government. Now that's something which is very interesting. Second is what my colleague Catherine spoke about, the urban land planning and the GIS and the applications around that. What do we see here? Today, urbanization is the key thing in Africa. People are coming in from all different locations. Africa is the place and Africa is the future. So everyone comes into Africa, everyone comes into cities, and that makes urban planning more difficult. And it makes more difficult for the city administration authority to reach out its services to all the citizens that are resident in that particular city or the major metropolis. So that's why what we are trying to do is we are under the CRM part, we are, along with Microsoft Platform for CityNext, we are trying to launch that as a solution for all the city administration authorities so that we can now start offering various type of services, like she was mentioning about tax and revenue management part of it. How do the city administration make it easy for citizens to pay tax? So CityNext could be a solution. How do I
apply? Targeted towards the city council.
City council. So that's the first step we are taking, but it can expand to many other areas. So this is just, we have started with a small step, and that's the focus we want to make, bring services closer to the citizens. So those are the three main highlights that we will have and focus on in 2014.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Rajiv. It's very interesting to note some of the product launch announcements and also innovative services from various practices. Probably one last opportunity for Nandan. You talked about SecureX. How are you planning to launch this product? Is it an app that is going to be for consumer targeted, or is it an enterprise application that you are going to sell it to the service providers?
Well, thanks, Anand. It can be addressed definitely in both ways. One of the things that we're trying to do is that considering that the biometrics is going to be more commercial, it makes sense for us to offer in both the sectors. One as an app which can be downloaded from Google Store or Apple Store, whichever platform. Second, to offer pointed applications to be loaded onto mobile devices to be offered to specific government agencies or entities. In fact, what I have here is a prototype of a phone. This is an Android phone. You would see that this is no different from your S3 or S4. But what you would notice is it has a fingerprint scanner at the bottom. So we are working with our partners who are also represented here today with us, wherein this communication can be taken to the next level, in the sense that there are encryption technologies which are already very well established. Now, bringing that down to a consumer device like your mobile phone, wherein I can make a phone call which can be encrypted using your fingerprint, and the person on the other end who is receiving this call can then receive the call again, accessing through their fingerprint. So especially when it comes to secure government communications, or sometimes when we are discussing pricings, between Uganda and Tanzania. So that is going to come really, really handy, yes. But I also wanted to mention another thing here is that since we are on the verge of the platform for these delivery of these services being changed, please be rest assured that we, as along with my colleagues here, we are on the pinnacle of what's happening in terms of technology. We are also actively exploring to see some of these innovative concepts being patented as well, so that our organization at a large can benefit from some of the innovations that we are working on as a team.
Sure. Thank you, Nandan. Just to summarize our panel discussion, the new products and solutions that we are bringing into the market in 2014, from RFID, business intelligence and data warehousing practice, from Saj, we heard that big data platform, Technobrain own big data platform will be released in 2014 to address business intelligence and data warehousing in the financial sector to start with, and then extend it to the public sector. And in the RFID, asset management in the warehouse, in other places, asset management is one product that his practice is planning to launch. Again, it is addressed to manufacturing and as well as public sector. In the identity management, which is a very interesting, and I personally believe that it's going to be a game changer because it touches every aspect of consumer and as well as enterprise. That is SecureX, which is a biometric exchange that identity management practice is going to bring in 2014, both in the form of an app that can be downloaded by a consumer from an app store, or it can be co-branded by a service provider, correct? Yes. And from the GIS or managed services, first Alfred practice, it's more of innovative services that his practice planning to bring into the market. It is based on ITSM, that is IT service management, the focus, and is preparing a cloud platform for all the products from other practices. And two interesting services that his practice is going to launch. One is security as a service and backup as a service, which is quite innovative. And in GIS practice, urban land information system for all the governments in Africa and other parts, which is a burning issue according to the market analysis. And revenue management solution based on GIS, and subsets could be billboard management or housing information. There could be many subsets in that. And in enterprise business practice, Inspire HRM 3.0, which is a completely browser based and database independent, can be accessible from anywhere. And Inspire HRM cloud version, which is offered on a SaaS model that can be provided on a subscription model to small and medium enterprises, and for the government, a private cloud based Inspire HRM 3.0 and as well as cloud. And the business automation and consulting, Measure on cloud, which is 2.4, the version, which can be offered again as a SaaS model to private cloud for public sector and public cloud for probably non-profit sector. And Smart Fleet on cloud, again, Smart Fleet is a solution already for logistic management, and that's also going to be offered on cloud. And citizen focused services built on Microsoft CityNext platform, correct? So this is a summary of new products and solutions that we are planning to bring as a company into the market, and we wish all the panelists all the very best for 2014.